Okay, I guess we can start at 7 o'clock as far as I'm concerned, seeing here. I don't know if anybody else has, but um, however, one of the things I want to do is just basically committee members signing on here right now. I would like to take a minute of silence in honor of Bud Kelly. I don't know if you all know he's passed away, but Bud Kelly sat on this committee for 40 some odd years. So if we just take a minute of silence in honor of Bud, I would certainly would appreciate it. And that gets into the record, Tom. Okay, if we may, thank you. Okay, I guess we've had the minute of time. I certainly appreciate it, gentlemen. Very, very nice of you. And Bud is going to be missed, I'm sure. All right, moving on. First thing of our agenda is our minutes of the last month's minutes, January 11th. Do we have a motion or any comments regarding the minutes?
So moved.
So moved, okay. And any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, okay. Very good, carried. Okay, now is our Cardis with us? I don't see anybody here yet.
Yes, we are, Dick.
Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay. You want to start with your report?
Sure. Zach will go through our monthly report for us.
Good
Good.
evening, everyone. Hope all is well. So throughout the month of January, construction has continued. Most notably, we've been working, the concrete subcontractor has been working with the site work subcontractor and all of the MEP subcontractors in Area B on the foundation for that addition portion of the building. In addition to that, there is a 90-day look ahead summarized in Arcadis's monthly report for you. In January, Arcadis scheduled the grant revision review meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow. Overall, there's been no major budget changes. Currently, we've expended roughly 4.3% of the overall budget after the newest GMP, which we'll talk about a little later this evening. In addition, towards the end of the meeting, we're going to be reviewing the submitted potential change orders for the committee to comment and ask questions on and hopefully approve.
Okay. All right. The 90-day look ahead. You got something to add to that at all?
No, it's included in Arcadis's report.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else, Arcadis?
That's all at this part of the meeting, Dick.
Okay. Any questions to Arcadis committee? Hearing none. Moving on. Okay. The next part of the meeting is Ladder Lane, but not Arcadis. Is now Tecton.
Good evening, Justin Hopkins, Tecton Architects.
Yep.
Included in your packet is kind of,
Quite a bit.
excuse me?
Quite a bit of pictures.
Yeah. Well, that is a presentation from a furniture meeting that we held with Mike, and Neil, and Jason. That's kind of the fun part of the report.
Back to the beginning, your memorandum.
Okay, yes. So our memorandum is more or less a construction administration summary.
Right.
We go through the construction RFIs. We had 14 in January for 35 total, 55 submittals in January. So this is really a heavy part of construction administration. All of the submittals are getting submitted and going through the workflows. We do have an application for payment, which is payment number 2 for January 2023. For this meeting as an action item. We've held a number of meetings as well as issued some supplemental instructions and proposal requests. Primarily, the biggest effort for discussion tonight, and I'm sure as we get into the PCOs, will be the mitigation of the quantities of ledge removal. Subsurface rock for both trench excavation for foundations, utility piping, and underslab piping. The design team has gone through a pretty extensive reconfiguration of the under subgrade utility piping in order to minimize the amount of potential ledge excavation.
Why
So,
wasn't part of that picked up by your civil engineer from the very beginning of the project?
well, we did have borings conducted in the southwest portion of the site, but we frankly didn't take them at every location that we had underground utilities. They were in areas where there are existing utilities. And as part of this reconfiguration or redesign, we're utilizing the existing trenches rather than building the system first and then taking the old system offline.
Well, that's still confusing in reference to what you're doing as far as digging. I was there the other day and I couldn't believe they were still digging. Trenches go there, especially on the what I call the southern end by the road. They were pouring concrete and digging at the same time. I was quite surprised. Is there much
Well-
more to go on there?
Excuse me?
Much more to go on there?
Well, we do need to establish the utility trenches. So that is part of what the discussion for some of the PCO work is this evening.
Okay, move on. Anything else on Tecton?
The only note was we are starting the coordination of furniture. So we've held a preliminary meeting with the schools,
Right.
and we're going
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have a question for the Tecton about the borings. So you're saying that the only borings that were conducted prior to the start of work were the ones for the old utilities?
Yes.
There were no borings taken for the design for where the new utility lines were going to go?
So
No, that's not true. No. Go
That's
ahead.
why I'm
Justin.
asking.
Yep. Go ahead, Justin.
So we conducted an extensive amount of borings to the northern portion of the site. And go ahead, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
Especially where we have our under our subsurface detention systems. What we're running into, and we took some to the southern portion of the site in the location of the new addition. And what we are running into is more extensive ledge conditions than the borings had indicated in the locations, but also in some of the areas where we have stormwater pipe running.
And that's because of the embankment coming up there where you're working the embankment, from what I understand. Is that correct?
Well, it's more or less throughout the southern portion of the site.
Right, which is a lot of it part of the old embankment that was there.
Yes.
Why wasn't any study taken of the embankment when they knew they were going to have to move the embankment? I mean, I know you're hitting rock that's 20 feet in diameter, but I think somebody would have found that out before they started the project.
Based on the borings that we took
People are
and
about
the entire
cost.
team had access to, we were comfortable with the boring locations in the southern portion of the site.
Yeah, but that's where all the problems, that's where all the rock is.
Right. Yeah. there
What
was
did
a-
the boring show? What was the elevation of where the rock was according to the borings?
So the rock was a few feet down. There's a full boring report in the specifications. There was a total of 15 borings done, 14 borings done on both the north and south side of the site.
But where's our concern rates?
And they showed, excuse me, they showed rock at 2 feet?
They showed rock at different elevations for each of the borings. I don't want to categorize every single boring, but it's shown in the detailed boring log.
I mean, if it's 2 or 3 feet, that's relatively shallow. I'm sure why, I would ask the question, why wasn't there some rock excavation included if that's what they were showing?
There was. Yep.
Okay.
Evidently not enough though, is that correct?
That is correct.
Why is that?
This is Mark from O&G. Based upon the borings, we included, minimal amount of rock based upon the data that we had.
Yeah,
And we included a unit price. We didn't expect to hit anything based upon,
right.
or very little based upon the information we had.
Well, that's my concern, and I'm sure it's everybody else's concern. It's costing the town more money that should have been picked up by civil that went out when the original project was put together, cost-wise. Right, wrong, Tom, jump in here. You're
Right.
an engineer.
Well,
Tom White.
Dick, this is Dave with O&G.
Yeah.
To some extent, any of the rock identified, it would have been included. The project would have had to pay for the rock.
Yeah, we understand that,
So I know it's a change, but
but getting the cost today and
there were more boring
cost
done
of
and
bid.
more rock identified, more would have been included in the bid.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Excuse me, but from what, excuse me, Dick, what I'm saying though is, if the rock was shown at 2 feet or thereabouts, I mean, I can look at the borings, but I'm just going by what you're telling us.
Right.
And what elevation did you hit the rock at?
Well, we hit rock at various different levels.
Well, I understand. I mean, you got to have an average or somewhere. I mean, did you hit it at 2 feet or did you hit it at a foot, or were you hitting it at 3 feet?
Jay, there's a pretty
We hit
in-depth
it. We hit it very
analysis, right,
shallow.
of the actual depth.
Yeah, there's a contour map that identifies where they hit the ledge or the rock at various different portions of the site.
And approximately, what was the rough average of the footage?
Yeah.
I don't want to categorize one particular spot because it varied quite a bit across the various different sections of the site.
Mr. Chairman, if I could jump in here for a minute. I just wanted to go back to my original concerns about the boring that was done. Certainly appears at this point not to have been adequate to show us the, large amounts of ledge that are at that site. Now, is that common practice for the, two situations to be so far apart? You have borings over here on the left that have, your topography map for that. And then on the right, you have the results that we can see for ourselves, which there's a tremendous amount of ledge up there. And, I think that's part of the reason you have a civil engineering group go in there and you have a design team go in there so we can anticipate these problems before we start, rather than, and I heard what O&G said that, oh yeah, well, if we knew there was more rock, we would have included it into the price. So you're paying for something that would have happened anyway, but we'd like to know these things in advance. I'm not saying, certainly more than just a few weeks or a month even. We should be hearing about this at the early stages of design for this project. So we know we have a big number to deal with for ledge or rock excavation.
My concern is, and not for sure, but when I go out to bid, I go for ABC. And all of a sudden I get additions now, I'm going to add double ABCs today. And that's what concerns us. We're paying more now for that ledge than we would if it went out for bid.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Jeff or whoever may have this, I think the concern is clearly we did borings and it was showing a lot of ledge when we did the borings, but there's more ledge than we expected. Can you explain a little more what it was about our initial estimate? Like, was it just we didn't test enough in an area, or the borings that we did? Like, it just, why the discrepancy for a layperson that's not involved in boring? Why the discrepancy?
Absolutely, it's a good question. So we hit more on the south side of the site than we anticipated, and it essentially is all on the south side of the site. I guess the team can correct me if I'm wrong. Should we could have or done more and peppered the site all the way across of where all the work was? I guess we could have second guessed and said, yes, we should have done more. This report was shared with the entire team. I would look back, I have it in front of me here. this dates well back to October of 2021. So we all shared this information, and I think as collectively, we didn't think that it was needed to
Ryan,
more boring. So
Ryan, been involved in the kind of projects like that. What's your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on the borings.
Yeah,
Well, I'm certainly no geotech expert, Norman expert on borings. I guess my question is, the borings on the south side just happened to show less ledge than happened to be there, or we just didn't bore much on that side?
didn't bore much.
So there was a total of
There were four
borings on the south side.
Yeah, at the perimeter of the proposed addition. One boring didn't show any bedrock. Two showed between 3.5 and 4 feet, and one showed 6 feet. So understanding that we were bringing grade up a foot, and the depth of our foundations are 4 feet below slab level, we frankly didn't think that we would be encountering this as much ledge as we are.
And you encountered ledge at 12 inches down?
In some locations for the utility, yes.
Okay. I think Mike has his hand up.
Does the amount of excavation get specified in the bid package, or is that something that the contractor has some risk in there?
I think ONG's better served. Maybe Mark, you're
Hey,
better.
yeah, Mark.
So
can you
the
talk about
base-
the discussion on that process.
So this is Mark again from ONG. So the bid, what we call it is the rock is, it's based upon the borings. They make some assumptions, but essentially
In addition,
based upon the borings, we didn't think we would hit much rock. So I believe I included 50 cubic yards of rock in the base bid with a unit price. We didn't think we were going to hit it.
Right,
So that 50 cubic yards is leveled between all bidders, and anything after that, it would be expected to be a change order.
right.
Correct. Now the unit price that we received, we had our estimators look at, and based upon historical data, we thought it was a fair number for a low, a low amount of rock. If we picked up a couple of yards here, a couple of yards there, we thought the unit price number was pretty good. I think based upon I may be getting ahead of myself, but based upon the amount that we received or discovered, I think Jay has renegotiated the price even a little bit lower. But we didn't think
that was for the mass rock, yes.
Based upon the information we had, we didn't think we would hit rock or much of it.
Right. But when you did, you're saying the price is lower than what the bid number was? Jay?
For the mass rock, yes, there's two different kinds of rock we're hitting. Mass rock, which is a global big rock, area, versus trench is when we have to trench for like a utility. So the mass rock was at $150 a yard in the bid. We negotiated with the contractor, got it down to $75 a yard. The trench rock, we're still in negotiation, but that's currently at $200 a yard per his bid number.
You're still in negotiation.
Right, so that's why the 50 yards that Mark was mentioning at $200, we carried $10,000 in allowance through, at bid time for all the bidders.
Mike, does that cover your question?
It does. It's clear that
How many yards are we talking though? No.
unanticipated.
That's the next question.
We don't have, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I know it was a large quantity to begin with, but as Justin mentioned, the redesign has helped tremendously in getting the reduction using the existing utilities that they're already there. But I can get that number to you, the exact quantity.
Oh, you're asking for an additional coverage here, and you got to tell us how many feet are in there. What are you talking about?
For the utility portion, I don't have that number in front of me. I can get that for you.
Okay. Any other questions? Rich, you have any other questions?
No, I guess we'll hear more when it comes to change order time.
Yeah. John?
My question's been answered. It appears, just in a summary, it appears to me that the boring showed the rock down 3 to 4 feet or none, and it's higher than that. And
Right.
it extends into our excavation, so I agree with it.
Okay. All right. Okay, who's going on here? Tecton.
May I have a question, please?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Lucian.
So you're saying that you're using the existing utilities. Did anybody check them out? Did you?
I know it's not the existing utilities, the existing trenches for the
Sorry,
utilities.
sorry,
Existing-
Lucian, I should have been
Yeah.
clear. We're using the existing
Okay,
trench
okay. It's
because
clear,
it's, yeah, with new utility piping.
Right.
okay, okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually did, if you remember way back when, we actually did go in and investigate and scope the existing pipe and did some pretty thorough investigation.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay. Anything else, Tecton?
That concludes the report, Chair,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, moving on. Let's see, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. We got the presentation from Art Cardius in reference to a memorandum. What is all that about?
Memorandum which shows up on page 43 of your packet.
Whatever, it's not numbered, but go ahead.
Okay.
numbers.
On the PDF, it's page 43 of the 118 page PDF.
I don't know, it says background, it starts out with background, and it has attached for your review and approval documents.
Right.
Okay,
As the committee is aware, and give me a moment to play with my screen so I can see you and see the document at the same time. Jason, can you allow me to share my screen, please? Or
Tom,
Tom, whoever's driving the bus here. Make me a co-host.
guess we're not getting there, huh?
Then I'll describe.
Oh, I want that.
I think
Did we lose
Tom
Tom?
dropped off.
Tom, may I
Yeah,
go?
he dropped off the call.
Yeah,
All right, then we'll discuss it. In your packet, this item called, memorandum from Arcadis summarizes the actions that O&G has before us tonight. As you know, twice before, O&G has come to the committee with portions of the guaranteed maximum price.
right.
First, for the early bid packages. Secondly, for the lion's share of the new work before the referendum passed. And tonight's action with GNP Amendment 1.3 will pick up the balance of the bid packages that will round out the rest of their contract, as well as including the dollar values for the alternates that were selected by the Board of Ed and the other boards and put forward for the referendum amount.
Okay, so we have one at 3.493, 176, and the other
Yeah.
one at 33, 193, 794, or 93, I'm sorry.
That's correct. So the amendment 1.3 is worth 4.393 million.
Vote on that? Shall we vote on that now?
So our recommendation, and this, kind of puts a bow around everything that O&G has included in the package tonight, which includes the various alternate inclusions and the other bid packages. So we ask that you approve amendment 1.3 in the amount of $3,493,176, along with the associated bid package awards, and that we authorize the town manager to execute the amendment and finance to increase the purchase order as necessary.
Anybody have any questions about what you just said? Can we have somebody carry that as a motion? We got that in writing, right, Tom? We're having online, do we have to repeat it?
No, you've got it in the document we included in your packet.
Yep.
Dick, I'm taking notes that I'll pass along to Tom for the minutes.
Okay. All right.
We're
Do you have it as he just said it?
I got it, yeah.
And we're still streaming on YouTube.
Okay. Can we get a motion to approve that? Any questions? My committee, where'd you go?
So this is just the net value remaining per the document dated February 1st in O&G's report?
That's correct. This,
See Mark nodding his head, yes.
Yeah, so all you're approving, you previously approved all the bid packages at last meeting. So all this is now is I've taken the final bid packages after your referendum. I've popped them into the GMP, called it a GMP final, added the percentages for bond and insurance and CMP and contingency and such, and recalculated it and handing it back to you.
that basically gets added to your contract with the town. So that's why we need it to approve.
Yeah.
Town manager will then get it approved by the attorney and we'll get it back to you. But that's what it is. It's not a problem. So can I have a motion to approve it, please?
I have a question first.
Go ahead.
So it's on the colored summary sheet for the budget that Arcadis has. I
Yes.
see the 33,193, 793 value, which is what we're being asked to approve. And then the owner contingency, what's the remaining value to get to the total of 39,054, 243? Is that FF&E and architect's costs and all the other stuff that's been previously approved?
Yeah, everything else that's in that column. So 39 million is the summary of all of those items. So with this action, the GMP will go up from the budgeted value of 31 million up to
Okay,
33,
I see how
193.
Yep.
And then the far right column says that, based on construction costs and alternates, 2.193 million goes into construction costs and 68,000 and change is being added to the owner's contingency to round out the value that went to referendum.
The first thing we got to approve though is this item on item 2, the GMP 1.3 for that million is the 3,493,176. Correct?
That's correct. So as long as the motion passes, that the recommendation, the approval of amendment 1.3 passes as written in the memorandum, then we'll be good to go.
Okay, we have a motion.
So moved.
So moved. We have a second? Somebody? I'll second it for a vote. Any questions before we go for a vote?
How do you get the $3 million? So if I add the column to the left with the column to the right, I guess I get the number that's in the middle, $39 million, more or less, right? The budget was 36,792.
I'll explain that, Lucian. When amendment 1.2 was passed, we did not consume every dollar that was in the construction budget. We held back. So, we committed less than the original construction value. We waited until the referendum passed, and now this action is going to put all the remaining trade packages into the GMP. Things such as final cleaning were not approved in the last amendment because we didn't need them yet. And that was a tool to stay below the originally approved value. So it's the overage, the alternates, and the remaining bid packages that were not previously approved that go into that 3 million and change.
So that's, I guess, just big numbers. It's
It is.
the column to the left plus the column to the right. I get the column that's in the middle.
That's correct.
Lucian, page 56 has a better summary of it.
These pages they're not marked pages, so that's the
They're
problem.
not, Dick. They're the page count in the PDF document that was sent out as the committee's packet.
We don't all have that, which is part of the confusion, I think.
That's the confusion, yeah.
I mean, Dick doesn't have it obviously in front of him. I don't have it. Mike, I think Egan has it. I don't know if Lucian has it or not.
Yeah, I do have it.
Okay,
have-
so we got 2 people have it, 2 people that don't.
Oh, wait a minute, I have one here that says the Latimer Lane School renovation revised budget per referendum.
Yep,
Talking about, down the bottom, it says last update 2/1, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Page 1, then exhibit A1 is the next page, is that correct?
yep.
Okay, all right, I got them. I see what you're talking about. I understand the 3,493,000. That's because of the addition from the referendum that gives us the money to get this project completed, as we talked about originally. Questions? Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, John, 4, 5. Okay, I got 5 out of the number of people here. So that we,
Hey, Dick, I'm gonna abstain on that because I don't have the paperwork. I have 1 page here
okay,
that shows me what you just said about A1, but I don't have the next page. Yeah, exhibit A1 that is marked at the bottom, page 1, but I don't have the follow-up document that goes with that.
Before that, Rich.
front of it.
Look up before that.
It's not in my packet. I have a paper packet. It's not in my packet.
You have an Arcadis media, memorandum? Richard?
I don't believe so. I have the Arcadius, yes, memorandum. Yes, I do.
The next page, you have the next page after that.
The next page is the back of a page. And a revised budget. Yes, I've got that.
What we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Is that correct? Where'd he go? Everybody?
Who are you asking, Dick?
I'm asking you, is that correct? He's got the next page after it on the backside.
Yeah, in the document flow in the PDF packet that was emailed out was the Arcadis memorandum, the Arcadis revised budget per the approved referendum, which is a white, blue, and 2 yellow columns.
Yep,
And then the page after that is O&G's Exhibit A1,
right.
giving a bottom line value of the remaining bid packages of $3,493,176.
Right. And that's what we're voting on.
Correct.
Okay? And everybody just voted on that. Rich, do you get a copy of that now? You see it?
Yeah, mine's not colored. Mine's black and white. Doesn't make it any easier to follow. And it's not in the same order that you say it was in, but I've got 2 pieces of paper here that resemble the essence of your conversation. So I will just move forward.
Okay, so you did. So are you voting yes or no?
I'll vote yes.
Okay, so we have a motion that's been approved. All those in favor say aye. They said aye, so this motion passes. Okay, next. Next is item Exhibit A from the document. There's nothing we need to do there, is there?
No, the next agenda item in the packet after we get through all of the O&G attachments.
Yeah,
Just popping forward to that. Next would be a summary of our potential change orders.
Exhibit C.
No, this is even further down the list. For those following the PDF at home, page 96 of 118.
96, holy Christ.
Yeah, right. I don't have the,
These pages aren't marked with that.
well, they don't match up with the PDF that he sends out by, you have a hard copy, Dick, in front of you?
No, I have the paper copy in front of me.
That's what I mean, a paper copy, a hard copy.
Yeah, I have a hard
So the
copy.
hard copy that you and I have does not match up with the PDF that Arcadis sends out. That's why the pages don't match.
No, I don't have pages, that's correct.
Right, exactly. That's why it makes no sense.
Well, the town sends out the package. We just provide some of the content.
Right, but I'm explaining to Dick why his package and my package don't match up with everybody else's.
Right.
Do you guys, would it help to screen share?
I think at this point, probably not. We'll be here all night because the pages don't work.
Well, if you go up with the screen count, we can see what's on the screen. That might help. Yes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. My screen's been acting kind of funny. I got all kinds of,
Let's take a look at the screen show.
yeah.
Okay, who wants to be the one who shares their screen with the document up there, or I can do it? Your call.
You should do it.
I can share.
Okay, who said that?
Ryan.
Okay. Okay, you should be able to do it.
I'm getting host disabled participant screen sharing.
How about now?
Yeah. Ryan. That should be done by John. Can you do that?
Oh, mate, no, I'm having computer problems, so the answer is no.
Right, exactly.
All right, I'll see if I
showing
can.
host
I'll try
disabled.
sharing it on mine. For some reason, it's not letting me.
There we go.
Okay, this looks better.
Oh, this looks like a mess. You know, this is all the good stuff we got up here, but
I don't see
Right,
it.
but at least I can see something now.
We don't show the pages we're talking about.
No, you're never gonna see that. Mm.
God,
okay.
I don't see that at all.
So you want page 96.
Okay. Okay, I hope we all got that. I went right by it.
Ridiculous.
Going to full screen will help.
Yep.
Potential change orders.
Okay. Does that help?
That's better. I got $112,856, what I'm looking at. For these change orders.
Change orders, right.
Okay, Jay, you want to walk through the list, please?
Absolutely. So the first change order is for the temporary parking lot for the staff. In April of this year, we have to take over the north parking lot to put in all the utilities and the underground detention system. So we're going to be taking away the parking for the school staff. So in the upper area where the construction trailer is up by the soccer fields, we're going to create a temporary parking lot for the school. And then it will be restored back to its original condition by the end of the end of the summer for the beginning of the school year in September, when they will get back the existing parking lot. Do you want me to go through all of them at once, or do you want?
No, any questions? You need to do them one at a time.
Okay.
Any questions at this point? Temporary parking lot and walk for school staff is $32,948.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor of PC 001 for $32,948, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Okay, next one. POOC 2,
I lost my screen here. Hold on a second.
7,250.
Mass Rock.
All right, so we had some rock on the west side of the school, and it was about 94 yards, and we removed that to get at the utilities.
What PCO number is that?
That's PCO number 002. So it's for 7236.
7236. Okay, got it. Okay. Everybody see that up there? All
And
right.
that's at the new renegotiated price of $75 a yard, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Good.
Then
So moved.
So moved.
So
second.
moved.
Okay. All those in favor?
Do we have a second on that?
Aye.
No, we did.
I'll second it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Two. Anybody else?
Yeah, aye, I said aye.
Got it. Okay, got you. Okay. So moved, second and approved. That one is PCO number 2 for $7,236 has been approved. Moving on to PO3.
Okay, so PCO3 was more rock excavation we hit on the south side of the school. It was about 800 yards. We removed, and that was again to get at the trench area of the utilities. So it was $65,203. And
No,
this
that was
is
that's at $200 a yard.
no, this is at the $75 a yard. This is
Oh,
at the
75.
reduction.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
800. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We reduced the mass rock from $150 a yard to $75 a yard.
Right. Okay. Any questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What utilities is it for? Is it all storm drainage under the site, or is it electrical and plumbing, all the above?
Everything.
It's the storm and mainly storm in that area.
Oh. Okay. The storm that comes from the street down through, is that what it is?
No, it's from the upper on the west side side into the south side of the school.
Okay. Yeah, the back side of the school. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And parts of that were redesigned, you said?
Yes, for the trenching part now, it's Tecton's redesigning it.
Right.
Yeah.
To further reduce the cost.
Yes, for the trench part of it.
Right, for the transport. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
No, I'll second it.
Okay, second. Any other questions? All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Sound like everybody. Okay. Motion's been passed for PCO number 3 for $65,203. Moving on to the next one is PCO 4.
Okay, so PCO 4, we had during some excavation on the north side of the building, we hit some old concrete piers that were in the excavation area of the foundation, and so we just had to remove them and get them out and dispose of it. It wasn't much, it's $1,421.
Any questions? Comments? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve this?
Yeah, so moved.
Second?
Second.
Second. Okay, any other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, okay. So PCO 4 for $1,421 has been passed. Next question is PCO number 5, Rev 1.
Okay, PCO 5 is in the existing basement of the school. We had a gas line, and where the new addition is going was the existing gas meter. So we had to relocate it from the north side of the building to the east side of the building. And when we got CNG involved, and they looked at the existing piping in the basement of the school and said that the couplings were old couplings and they're not up to code, and so they asked us to remove them and provided the correct couplings. So they had to provide that and some additional piping in the basement.
Good God.
So moved.
Move. Second? Second?
No, second.
Second, okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, in favor of this?
Wait a second. This is Lucian. So this is the final location for the gas meter?
Yes.
Yes. That answer your question, Lucian?
Yeah. And it's in the basement?
So the gas meter is on the east side of the building, on the outside, but the piping was inside the basement to the heating system.
Any other question, Lucian?
So this was on the house side, the piping that had to be redone, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? John, you got a question?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second for a PCO 5 for $3,843. So let's see if I was saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, moving on to PCO 10.
PCO 10 is in the north courtyard. Some of the elevations of the final grades were going to be pretty low. So we added some insulation against the existing school's foundation to protect it. So it's we had asked a couple RFIs and a sketch was provided. It was for $2,205.
Yeah, I can provide a little bit more background. The existing footing does not go as deep as is indicated in all the existing documentation that we have. So we had to provide some additional insulation around the existing foundation wall.
How much less deep is it? Is that 6 inches less deep or a foot?
But approximately 12 inches.
12
So
inches.
rather than underpin it or
Yep.
provide, the depth, one of the solutions available to us is to insulate it,
Insulate it, right. And that's both sides or just on the outside?
just on the outside.
On the outside, okay.
Okay, and the rest, well, okay.
Yep.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any other questions? All's in favor?
Aye.
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 Hey,
Okay.
hey, Dick, can I ask one question? Do we get a copy of the change orders with the backup? Because I don't see it.
You don't see it? It's not in your package?
I didn't see it, no. I went through quickly.
It's way on the bottom, so the call proposed change orders. There's a
I'm
whole
seeing the change orders, but not the backup in the packet.
Right,
backup.
exactly. You should get the backup from the subs.
Yeah, should have been in there.
And these changes were approved by the design team, correct?
Yes. So we got one now for PC 10 for the $2,205. We have a motion. All those in favor by saying aye.
I thought we did.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
We did this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just very quickly run through that, where you show the backup to this page for everybody? They can see what it looks like. Take the first one, for instance, the change order. Can you hear me? There you go. There's your backup pages. Look like that.
Well, yeah, but we should have the trades backup. His invoice, his document should be there, not just the cover sheet.
We don't have that. We just have his numbers. We don't
No,
have
but in the future, they should give it to us to see his breakout.
who it is
Probably some confusion because we told them not to do that for the monthly billings.
going, right,
Well, that's the monthly billings, but we're talking about approval.
right. We should have
It'd
had,
be nice to see the
We can
backup.
include that. We can
Yeah.
include that going forward and
That's
we can
fine.
send it out.
okay,
We have no issue providing that.
okay.
We good? I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
No, I think there's three more.
We got-
Okay.
We got PCO 10, I'm sorry, PCO 11. For a zero amount. We need to approve that for,
Yeah,
It's
so-
not zero. We don't know what the amount is.
No,
Yeah,
it's
right.
it's zero. So I'll explain it.
Oh,
So
it is
these-
zero, okay.
Yep. So these next three, during scope reviews, with O&G did with the subcontractors, there was just a couple buyout issues. So we had carried in the GMP, the dollar values for these. And so now we're just trying to amend the subcontractors for these three. So the first one is child guard glass. Again, it's no cost
the town.
change order, but it was carried. So it's a net zero to
Yep.
to the change order.
We need to do these by themselves, so we're gonna take this one first.
Yep.
I have a question on that.
Go ahead.
So you didn't carry a generic allowance on bid day. You carried the specific value, but just outside of the trade subcontractors package?
Yes.
Yes,
Well, let me just take that. So what these three are is when we're scoping the low bidders, we go through the scope. Did you have this? Did you have that? Did you have the child guard glass? Well, I didn't have the child guard glass because it wasn't quite. So we identify this quote miss scope at bid. Now, rather than spend a couple $100,000, go to the next bidder. We identify it as being missed in scope, and we get a price for it. We negotiate the price. We run it with our estimators, and the low bidders do want to give you a fair price because they don't want you to rebid it and they don't want to lose the job. So this was stuff identified up front. It's included as costs in our GMP under the allowance section, and now we just have to pay the subs for it.
oh, right.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if it was a $15,000 allowance and it was being carried to the subcontractor at 11,872, there's a gap there that should get equaled out somehow. I just want to make sure that you had carried the value that you're showing on the.
Yeah, we carry the exact value in our GMP that we priced out. And again, we don't, just keep in mind, as a CM at risk on this, our contract does not allow us to keep any savings. It all comes back to you.
Right.
Now, in terms of the GMP, now do you keep a running tally on where you stand with your GMP fund, or that particular number that you're taking and you're moving these? You do.
Yes.
I just want to know that. Again, we want to know up front, that, and I guess that your guaranteed maximum price would protect us from you going over that. Is that correct?
Correct. We at any time, we know.
So Dave,
for GMP allowances, and can project, as of today, what are the funds available in those accounts. And Jay is monitoring that on a daily basis as changes in the work come up that qualify for using the GMP contingency.
Right. But that's all, again, under the umbrella of the maximum price guarantee.
Correct. And I'll just say this: we do produce a extremely detailed monthly report. That is available and submitted to the town as a deliverable every month.
Right. Okay. So you've got a good handle on that system. Oh, that's all I want to know.
It's a fluid document every day.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
It would also be nice to know what the value of these items are that you're taking out of the contingency and awarding. That's
I think if you scroll down, down.
Is it down?
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Way down. So ask 3.
Here's PCO 10.
Yeah, next one.
Next one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's the $11,000 you're talking about.
That's
correct.
Yeah. 872. Right.
Yeah. So
what's the next one?
So if you see there, we did the ad for 11,872, and then we deducted the 11 from the.
Yeah.
Right.
75.
What's the next one?
75.
Go down. While we're here, might as well do it. 7,500.
Yeah, that's going to go from storefront to curtain wall. So again, we're scoping out the glazing contractor, stated that the storefront was too tall, and it would have to go to a curtain wall system. That's the upcharge.
This concrete trade contractor, $64,900.
Yeah. So this
the last one.
Yeah, so this is some concrete frost walls, haunches, and sidewalk on the north side of the building by the loading dock area. At last minute of bidding, we were getting some questions about who owns what and where, because we have the site concrete and we have the building concrete, and so we were trying to get both to buy in, and I guess we weren't clear enough. So when we scoped the concrete guy, he said he didn't have that area, and we scoped the site guy, he didn't have the area. So that's why we got a price from both of them, and the concrete guy was actually lower than the site guy. So that's why we went with his number to finish buying out the concrete in that area.
We need a motion that if we're going to go to PCO 11, 12, and 13.
If so moved.
I'll second that.
Second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, I guess that covers that. All done, right? So moving on, we have invoices.
Okay, Tom, if you'll jump to page 106.
106.
That's our summary.
Oh, we're getting the system down now, guys.
Yeah, no, we gotta do one by one, guys. Don't give this shit.
Big help. This is good.
Just ignore this one. Because
Ignore this one.
we gotta vote on our invoices individually. So
we will, Dick. We will. This is just saves us flipping through a lot of pages.
Okay, but I have to do it so everybody else can. But anyways, we have.
That's all right. This is good.
Okay, let's bear with me, please. All right, you're gonna go depth, shade, and me pull it. Okay, so the first item is invoice number 34345794
45794.
But first, the first item is O&G's requisition for the month of January, requisition number 2, in the value of $860,934.86. The detail of O&G's breakdown is on the next 4 pages following this. Next four or 5 pages gives you all of their trade summaries. The allowances that we just voted on are also reflected, as part of their breakdown.
Move to approve and pay.
So this is your bill, Arcadis's bill.
No. This is
ONG.
ONG. This is their payment application number 2 for a period ending January 31st, 2023. $860,934.86.
Oh, top one, I'm sorry, okay. So.
Right, he wanted to start at the top. I'm talking about
I'm sorry, yep.
Jack, which makes perfect sense, of course, but
All right.
anyway.
So ONG, all right, it's backwards because I take ONG last. Anyways, we have a motion on the floor.
I think Ryan already made a
Ryan
motion.
already did.
I'll second it.
Second, okay. Any comments, further comments? Hearing none, all opposed, in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, so that item passes for a period of 1/31/2023 for the construction management of $860,934.86. Okay,
We're
next.
good.
All right, the next, we got to move down to invoices down the bottom, the 34345794 for Arcadis for the amount of $12,318.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So passed, okay. Next item is item number 45913 for our Tecton for the amount of $27,598.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Did-
I'm sorry, what was that?
I didn't see, I didn't get who made the motion and who seconded on that one, on the Tecton one?
I moved.
I
Okay,
second it, Tom.
who seconded it? Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Mike.
Got it.
Okay. All right, the next one is item 3 is TSMT 11277 for Tri-State Metals testing for $2,619.22.
Yeah, so moved.
Okay,
I'll second it.
and Rich, okay?
Yep.
Okay, any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, so this is carried through, that's nice, all right. The next one is 559808 for TRC for $210.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? So carried. And the last one is 569530 TCR for the amount of $1,955. The motion,
So moved.
I'll second.
second, okay. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, I guess that kind of takes care of what we have here for invoices, right?
That's all for the invoices, yes.
Yeah, and I have ONG has an invoice here that we have to talk about, right? Invoice application number 2.
We already did that.
Did that already.
We did that, yep.
We
Yep,
took care of that right off the bat, Dick. That was the,
Yep. And the TRCs are all taken care of. They just show these individually, so I make sure they're covered. Yep, okay. Any other business?
I had a question, Dick.
Go ahead.
In ONG's report, it talks about a discrepancy with the rebar drawings. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but can somebody explain that if it's relevant to this month?
somebody,
Yes, I can explain it.
okay,
So the rebar was pre-detailed prior to going out to bid. And when we received the field use drawings, they were different than the structural drawings. So we had to go and do get a revised set of drawings. And the with this revision, we didn't have all the bar there. Some of the bar was wrong on the drawings, so we had to do some field work to get the bar correctly in the footings and in the walls. So we did have a little bit of a delay to the project currently, but we're working on getting that back on track. And we think with the steel and then the masonry in the springtime, we'll be able to get right back on schedule for Area B.
Is there a cost associated with that?
There is a cost. There's some T&M work we're doing right now to cut some bars and so drill and epoxy some bars. So right now it's we've got some tickets in. It's usually about an hour or two a day. So it's about a couple $1,000s right now.
Well, how much of a delay is that going to cause?
Hey,
Right now, we're right now about 2 weeks behind, but I'm confident we could make that time up.
Pick that up later.
Yeah. So I was with my super this last week, and we're evaluating different options. And I don't think right now expediting the site and the concrete is the right answer. I think with the unknown weather we could possibly have. I know it's been great right now. It's been very warm, but I think in the spring with the steel, I think we can expedite the steel contractor and also the mason, and we can make up those 2 weeks.
let's hope so.
Yep.
We were told that hiring the pre-detailer was going to save time and money. I just want to make sure that if a consultant that was hired used the wrong drawings and that caused cost and scheduling impact, that's not going to come back on the town.
Comment?
That's the reason for tracking the exposure as T&M tickets at this point, so that we can make an assessment.
Do you think there's going to be an additional charge?
Yeah, he just said there were a couple $1,000s already.
That's yeah, but we're talking about the other one you just talked about. Mike?
We're talking about the same thing. There's going to be cost. It's just who pays for it.
Yeah.
Well, clearly somebody made an error, and so therefore, once that's determined who made the error, I think that particular contractor has to cover the cost directly or indirectly through insurance.
Right.
Let me ask a question. Was it something where the drawings changed? From the time it was detailed originally to the final construction documents?
So the drawings always are changing in the sense that there are addendum that are issued during bidding to address questions, to clarify items. I think our final OSCGNR approval was around the 1st of September. The rebar detailer started their detailing work in July. So we're, as Jay and Jack had mentioned, we're working with the structural engineer to understand exactly what the impact is.
So we'll revisit this at a later time.
Right.
Once we have more information.
I have more information, yeah. But I think Tecton should be jumping. Is they aware of this?
Yes, we're aware of the issue, and our structural engineer is reviewing the rebar drawings to ascertain what the issues are.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question. They didn't pick it up when the drawings were actually submitted for approval? I mean, I assume that change may have been made in the meantime.
Yeah.
That's among the things that we're trying to figure out here.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Well, the good news is they caught it and they're fixing it. So that's good.
Hopefully. Okay, moving on here. Next meeting, we have to pick a day in the presentation. Is in March. The first Monday is March 6th. The second Monday is March 13th. We prefer to March 6th or the 13th.
March 6th is the usual meet, right?
Yep, I'd rather have it that day, but I just put those two dates out based on our backup suppliers, whether they need the extra time or not.
Let's ask them.
I'm asking,
I'm waiting.
not hearing anything.
From from the ONG standpoint, that we're good with the calendar that was adopted
Right.
at the last meeting.
Okay,
Good.
so March, okay.
Likewise, Arcadis has no objection.
Okay, March 6th is our next meeting. The question is, we continue on Zoom?
Yes. Now that we got the new format, that was perfect. Tom Roy, I think, jumped in there and with some assistance from Jason. I think that was a big help to everybody.
Any other comments? Okay, if you make note on it, Tom, our next meeting is going to be March 6th via Zoom. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, I check the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, it's very well passed. Thank you very, very much, everybody. It was great seeing you all, and have a good evening, and that we have rest of, and the rest of the time to the next meeting of March 6th. Have a good one, folks.